Good afternoon and good evening. And if you are in the Pacific Rim or in a European country, it's either halfway through the night or it's Saturday morning. So I am Bruce Carnahan, aka the guy in the blue shirt. And I actually am a LinkedIn Live host. And I am also blessed to be sponsored by Rever. And Rever is a software that helps you empower your frontline working team. So if you'd like to learn more, you can just go to reverscore.com. And thank you, Gracie Ruth. She just gave me the thumbs up that we're live. So Dr. Deirdre Clark, welcome all the way from Eastern Time Zone. So thank you for giving up some of your Friday evening for us here. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will get into our lively conversation here tonight for you.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for that wonderful intro. My name is Dr. Deirdre Clark. I have been working in the health and research space for 20 years, 21 years. So, and when I noticed that it was 20 years, I said, I want to make sure it doesn't have that wear and tear on my face. So let me make sure that I do everything that I can so that I don't look like I'm aging like I actually am. So during that time, I have many interests, but I've worked a lot in research and development, mostly in oncology and dermatology and various different indications. But I'm also, I'm a chiropractor, I'm a naturopath. I do a lot of things, and I'm all about health and wellness for the body so that people can live longer, healthier, more productive lives.
Right. Well, I am very interested to learn, along with so many other people that are going to watch this either as a live or as a recording. So feel free to put your questions if you're live into the stream, and we will go back and answer them later. If you're seeing this as a recording, then you can still add your comments and we'll go back as well. So which beautiful city are you located in?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. So I have a very funny story about Charlotte, North Carolina. Can I share it?
Of course.
So
lots of stories, yes.
So I used to be what they call a road warrior, and I was working out of a snow city called Erie, Pennsylvania. And we had a client down in just outside of the Charlotte area in North Carolina. And so it was snowing, usual thing in Erie. It was early winter, so I flew all the way down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I had lightweight clothing. And what I didn't realize is the nor'easter that we were experiencing up in Erie, Pennsylvania, had decided to loop around and track its way all the way back up through the Carolinas during the time I was on the plane. So I got off in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's middle of the evening, and I'm thinking, I'm in a t-shirt, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. So I go to the car rental, and it is a sheet of ice. No kidding. And there is nobody left in the airport because everybody, is like scared of any precipitation in North Carolina. So fortunately, the guy was still there with my rental car keys. And I got in my rental car. There was no snow chains or anything. And I had to do a 50-mile drive on pretty much snow and sheet ice. And I didn't get to the hotel until like 2 a.m. So that's my crazy North Carolina story. I didn't have a winter coat. I didn't have any proper clothing. And then the following morning, I got up like 6 hours later. I go to the facility, and they had decided to close the facility, and nobody told me not to come. How about that? So that was my last experience in North Carolina, not to be repeated. So
yes, I can give you some tips. I'm from the north. Okay, I'm a Can American. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I went to University of Buffalo, but In the South, if it is ice or snow,
Mm-hmm.
everything's closed. They don't,
Absolutely.
they don't have the ability to like salt all the roads.
Right.
So they're just gonna they don't that's not in their budget. So they're just gonna say, okay, everything's closed.
Yeah. I know. I found that out the hard way. Now,
Yeah.
never every trip after that, not just to North Carolina, South Carolina, and then eventually.
Alabama, Georgia, everything. It's the same thing. It's like
Sure.
everything's closed. We're not even gonna try. Like they'll do the major highways. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's it.
Right.
So no,
So
it's not gonna happen. So
yeah,
don't don't make that mistake again.
I didn't. So that was part of my preventive action. I used to do an advanced weather check, which I never did before, and then fast forward a couple of years, I actually ended up moving to the Dallas Fort Worth area. So I ended up with four seasons, which I'd never had before. So that was kind of cool. So that's my little prevention for being a road warrior. So yeah, we have gone into a crazy health, wealth, and prevention time of our lives. So based on the last 6 months, Dr. Deirdre, what's probably your number one tip for people to stay healthy?
I have a list of things. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I can narrow it down to just one thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. If you're working remotely and you're working from home, you're doing okay. So you can work from home and you're doing all right, but you still need to get out, get some, walks around the block in, get some sunshine, and supplement your diet with some vitamin D3. Okay, that's number one. You have to supplement your diet. You have to have sun to survive. We need that. We need that. So if you're not an essential worker and you have to be out
Mm-hmm.
amongst the population and you are wearing a mask on a regular and consistent basis, you make sure you have mask breaks, okay? Because yes, masks are safe, masks are necessary, and masks are required. But ultimately, when they design masks weren't designed to be worn really consistently, like all day, every day. So you've got to have a break in between wearing the mask, 5, 10 minutes, go outside, get a break, in between wearing the mask so you can, kind of get that oxygen in your air, in your airways and your breathing and, go back to wearing the mask because, the masks are safety and it keeps everyone safe, according to the CDC and according to all of our healthcare experts at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, the lack of movement. Okay, we were lazy as a country before. Okay, oh my God, are we not even like lazy times like 10 to the ninth power right now?
Mm-hmm.
This is not an excuse for people to, I mean, yeah, have we watched everything on Netflix and Prime? Sure, okay,
Mm-hmm.
because there's not a whole lot to do. But this is also time to clean out your garage, time to clean out your attic, time to reorganize your house, time to get moving so that we keep moving and we're not finding ourselves gaining weight. So I took just a little poll of asking people, how's the scale looking for you during the time of COVID?
Mm-hmm.
So approximately 50% of the people had actually gained 10 or more pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot of pounds
Yeah.
during COVID. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm thinking is, okay, you've got a lot of time in your hands, and I get it. We're not able to move around like we want to, but also that is giving you the time to say, you know what, I can work on me. I can do some things to make my life healthier, better, more longevity. Let me do what I can, for myself, because
Mm-hmm.
the healthier you are, you know, if for some reason you were to contract COVID-19, you get a better chance of being able to fight it off because you're healthy to start. And you can do really, really small things right now that would allow that to occur.
Right. So you know what? You gave me some wonderful aha moments. But before I get to those, I want to say hi to Karina. she's a regular watcher, so thank you for that. But one of the things I had never thought of before was the mask break, because I guess most of the masks are designed for very short-term wearing conditions, even medical masks, right? So I had not really thought of that before. And then the other tip that I picked up upon is making sure you regularly launder your mask as well, because it's amazing. If I just wear one for the day, it's amazing how much kind of it filters out, both on the inside and the outside. So that was an aha moment for me. And then also I can endorse, I've been working predominantly from home, but taking a walk outside, particularly if you can get some sun, that makes you feel a whole lot better than staying in the house all day or staying in the home office all day. So that's amazing.
Yes, you need at least 20 minutes. I mean, so we're not talking like, you're going outside for 5 minutes and just standing there. You gotta, go outside, walk around, and get those breaks. And so I also want to clarify, nurses, surgeons, operating room staff, they wear masks all the time in a sterilized surgical space when they are conducting surgeries. Some
Right.
surgeries may last for long periods of time. Now, okay, there are a lot of varying degrees that happen. Sometimes they have on face shields. Sometimes they have on masks. Sometimes they take breaks, walk in, walk out, a change of staff. All these things are happening in this sanitized environment. Okay.
Right.
So we're not them. Okay. We're not them. So these are highly trained individuals that, work in these very, very sterile environments, and they actually know how to work in a sterilized environment, take a break, and make sure that they keep
Right.
that sterilization intact. Okay. And so I always remember just even the simple act of washing your hands, okay, and then having someone that's already sterile put the gloves on you. Okay.
Right.
So you don't touch anything else. Okay. Or slipping your hands in there. There's very sterile techniques that take place in the operating room. Okay. We're not talking about operations right now, but
Right.
I just wanted to just talk about that so that, we're making a distinct difference between someone who works in a hospital and does sterile techniques versus everyday people that are at Walmart, that are at their jobs and wearing masks and working in machinery or something like that. And they're wearing masks all day. And maybe you're wearing a mask for an hour, take a break for 5 or 10 minutes, get a break, and then kind of, put it back on.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. And actually I can relate. So way back in my career, I used to work for a company, and we made and assembled medical devices. So we used to have clean rooms that were as clean as an operating theater room. And the most extreme clean room I used to have to go into regularly was literally, you took your outside clothes off, you showered in, you put on a mask, gloves, a paper suit, basically, that kept you from, touching things with your skin. And then after I did my work in there, then you would take the paper suit off, you'd shower out again. And then in the meantime, your clothes had gone on a little bin system from where you entered the room to where you exited the room. So it was pretty stringent. It was necessary, but oh my goodness, it was such a inconvenience.
Yes. I mean, even if you think about it, I mean, this is a little sidetrack, but even if you watch the police, like the DCI shows, okay,
Right.
here when the constables or the detective constables in England or Scotland Yard, and they go to a crime scene, what is the first thing they do? They put on those white disposable biohazard suits that cover their shoes, their everything, right?
Right. Sure.
Well, here in America, we just show up in our 3-piece suit, okay, and we go to the crime scene. Like,
I know it's amazing how cultures are so
Right.
so different. I mean, I was born in England, and our
Mhm.
preventive medicine or preventive healthcare is
Uh-huh.
like light years in front of where we are here in the US. It's like amazing. So,
And being from Canada, a lot of Americans went over and practically, I'm sorry, people are going to disagree with me, just about bankrupt their healthcare system.
uh-huh,
And they had to revamp it a few years back.
right.
And so now you've got a situation where someone may say need an arthroscopy of the knee, and they may have to wait now, 6 months
Hmm.
because the system has been overhauled. Okay,
Right,
because we have this excess use of entitlement. Okay,
right.
so I'm just gonna just leave it like that. So
Well, historically, what's interesting is the Canadian, Canada and the UK are always were closer in collaboration way back in history. So,
mhm,
so yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that their healthcare system was very similar to the one in the UK initially, and not so similar to the one in the US. So yeah, it's
mhm,
everything's gone through a lot of change. That's for sure.
yeah, a lot of change, and so this should motivate people now more than ever to take their health very seriously and to do
Hmm.
prevention. Okay. If they could do just a few things, first of all, cut out fast food altogether, cut
Hmm.
out soda altogether, cut down on refined sugars and flour altogether. You're making a tremendous help right there because, yes, Corona is a huge, big deal. It's a pandemic, okay? But the real
Hmm.
pandemic in this country is diabetes and heart disease, okay?
Right.
People are getting killed every day, or excuse not getting killed, being affected by this every single day. So, um, and then if you have these conditions that are being exacerbated, okay, by, an acute onset of COVID or Corona or whatever you want to call it, okay,
Hmm.
then, then then you are more likely to experience some of these different exacerbating effects that come along with comorbidities. If
Right.
you have untreated diabetes, okay, if you have uncontrolled diabetes, all
Hmm.
right, if you have diabetes and you don't know it, if
Hmm.
you have diabetes and you don't bother to take your blood sugar,
Right.
if you have neuropathy, if you have like, diabetes is like a tree of conditions that go in various different areas, okay,
Hmm.
that can lead to a lot of problems, okay, just diabetes in itself, that can, and it also can lead to heart problems. So heart disease, okay, in itself, all right, leads to circulation problems, leads to breathing problems, leads to a ton of other things. So then you add corona, COVID on top
Right.
of
Sure. So another little interesting sidebar there is that I used to consume a lot of white sugar,
that.
but that processed, which I guess is what you mean by refined sugar.
Yes.
Um, so I was fortunate enough that I went to a sugar refinery where they were refining from sugar beet, and
Hmm.
after I saw the chemical processes that went through, and all the titanium dioxide that they threw into the white sugar to make it go back white again, because
Hmm.
when you refine sugar, it's not white, and people.
Yes.
So,
Yes. It's brown, right? It's brown.
oh, it's awful, and it terrible smell as well when
Uh-huh.
they
Yeah.
crack it down to the refined sugar. It's so that cured me of using white sugar, and if I do use sugar, I use a sugar in the raw or
Mhm.
turbinacid sugar variety now, and that does help. It helps a whole bunch. Just making substitution from white sugar to Hawaiian or a naturally formulated sugar, and only use that if you have to have it. So
Yes, that in itself, just substituting that right there would change your life. Just take away all white sugar because
right.
years ago, they kept saying, remember there was a fat-free craze, okay? And they
Mm-hmm.
were making fat-free everything. You had fat-free dressing, fat-free cookies, fat-free marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
Marshmallows never had fat to begin with, okay? But the truth of the matter, the body knows, okay, excess sugar makes your body store fat,
Uh-huh.
okay? I, it's not fat, so much fat that makes you fat. It's excess carbs, wrong carbs, okay? All right. So, say if I eat 10 Oreos, I don't know that I don't like Oreos, but 10 Oreos, say there's 0 grams of fat in those Oreos, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Every bit that I eat beyond what my body requires, okay, the body's going to say, oh, I'm going to store this for later. I'm going to store it as fat.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you do that, foods that are not balanced with the proper amount of carbohydrate, fat, and protein, okay, that's what your body does. It stores it as fat for later. And then you're like, oh, I'm getting chubby here. Oh, I'm getting chubby here. I'm not eating any fat. You're eating a lot of sugar, and your body's storing it up for later because your body's going to hold on to it because it thinks that it needs to hold on to it.
Yeah, I have to admit I am a Oreo, and I mean I'm a really bad Oreo boy because I dunk them in hot tea. So that's a very English tradition, but
But
I
I don't know if it's biscuits that they use. I think they
it
use the
is.
shortbread cookies in their hot tea.
Yeah, that. But the problem
Yeah,
with that is all the crumbs from the shortbread they end up in the bottom of the cup. So so that's a visual for you. So
that's very American of you. Okay,
oh, I
okay. That's very American of you.
know. Well, like people say, how old am I? And I say, well, I'm 26 in American, and I'm very old in a total world. So
I love it. I love it.
I've only been here in the US 26 years. So you mentioned that great word prevention. So what are the following the theme along the health? What are your top tips that we can easily do for prevention, doctor? What would you say that we should be doing?
Okay, so prevention. Okay, I'm gonna
Hmm.
plug this. I have to plug it. I'm a chiropractor. Okay, everybody needs to get adjusted. Everybody needs to get adjusted. And I'm gonna say that your 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 central nervous system is housed in your skull
Hmm.
and the vertebrae in your back, right? Your
Right.
most important, your nerves, blood vessels are encapsulated there. That
Hmm.
supply, okay, all of the vital parts of your body. Okay. Every time you fall, all of these things are encapsulated in bone for
Hmm.
protection.
Right.
Okay. All right. These bones actually do move around because that's why we can, do this.
Hmm.
Have you? Okay. I have been in love with chiropractic since I was a teenager because a chiropractor changed my life. When I was young, I was told, "Oh, you just got a mild scoliosis." I
Mm.
go to the chiropractor. He took it away. It was gone. Okay.
Hmm.
Whereas people have gone to surgeons to have their scoliosis corrected. They've done all kinds of really, really invasive models, okay, to get health and wellness when it's really not, it may not be necessary in every case. I'll say it
Right.
like, okay.
No, I
But,
agree.
right. But like, let's say, for example, if my arm is hurting right here, okay,
Hmm.
right. I'm like, oh, my arm's hurting right here. It's just really hurting right here. It's
Hmm.
it's usually coming from this area of your neck, right?
Right.
If I go to the chiropractor and the chiropractor adjusts me, okay, and my arm stops hurting, okay, what's the correlation between this and this? The nerve that supplies this area right here comes from right here.
Right.
But if I leave it and I just keep taking ibuprofen all the time, I just keep taking ibuprofen, I'm going, oh, well, it's better right now. It's better right now.
Hmm.
But if I go to the chiropractor and it stops, right? There's a certain thing called muscle memory. The muscles will go back to how they're used to, okay? And And it takes a little while to reset the muscles so that they're used to being in the right place. But then the
Right.
arm stops hurting. Okay. And then you don't need to take the ibuprofen all the time.
Of
Okay.
course.
All right. So that's just number one. All right. I'm going to go number two. All right. Hydrate yourself. Most people walk around with a bottle of water, but I'm not really sure if they're actually really drinking it. I see people with water all the time, but are you really drinking the required, you know, 8 glasses a day? Okay.
Right.
All right. And people always complain, especially women. And that's why I came on this show with not a stitch of makeup on. Okay. Not a stitch. No powder, no makeup, no mascara, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to look younger. I want to look younger. I want to buy this face cream. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And you go in their bathrooms. They've got every face cream in the world you could imagine to look young and to remove wrinkles. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Everything I do for my face, I can literally eat.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Everything I do for my face, I can eat. All right. So what you are, what you eat is a true testament. Okay.
Oh, right.
Is a true testament. All right. So whatever you do to your body, whatever you eat, you know that you are what you eat. That's very true. So, with that being said, so we talked about food, talked about health, we talked about skin, talked about looking young. I got a plug. I've got an anti-aging line coming out because I'm so tired of people saying, "Well, how do you look so young?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't do things to my skin that I don't want done to my skin. I don't beat it up. I don't clog my pores with a bunch of makeup, and then I don't do that. I just don't do it. So, what have you. So, um, but my friend, since we were young, okay, she started wearing anti-wrinkle cream when we were in our 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in our late 40s. Okay. I'm like, what good did it do you? Because it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working. You're looking 10 years older than me.
Right.
I'm older than you.
Well, I have a fun admission. So, well, let me say hi to Maria. Thank you for joining. Maria's a regular watcher as well, and just to lighten it up a little bit, I didn't wear any makeup either, doctor. So, but I have been guilty of trying to get some instant fixes from some of those creams before. So,
And
not
there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to use the right ones. The right
absolutely
ones.
right.
Mhm.
So towards the end, yeah, I'll let you give people a website or the best way to reach you. So we did also promise to talk a little bit about, we've covered the health a little bit and we've covered prevention a little bit. How about the subject of wealth during COVID-19? What has been your last several months learning in that topic, Doctor?
Okay. All right. I just want to say, eat lots of green vegetables, eat
Oh, sure.
ginger, okay? Eat ginger, vitamin C, zinc, and omega-3 fatty acids. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So
Now,
could you share that slowly, and then Grace,
yes.
I can see you're on here. So my trusted colleague Gracie, I'm sure she'll put that in the comments. So
Okay, great. I'll do it slow. Hi, Gracie. Okay, so eating foods rich in antioxidants, okay, like berries, blueberries, raspberries, anything that has any antioxidants in it.
mhm.
Green leafy cruciferous vegetables, okay? All right, kale, for example, okay?
Yeah.
Omega-3 fatty acids, salmon, okay?
Mhm.
Zinc, not too much because zinc can make you sick. Don't eat like 5 tablets of zinc, just one.
Mhm.
For about 40 milligrams of zinc, I believe is the recommended dose, right? Vitamin C, okay? A good brand of vitamin C, not just a
Right.
filler, okay? All right, because you got to be careful what you buy, okay? Because everything that is presented before you, remember, this is not regulated, right?
Mhm.
So that's why it's important to buy nutraceuticals. That means they're tested, like pharmacy or
Right.
pharmaceuticals are they're tested nutraceuticals. Okay, vitamin D3, and ginger. These things will keep you healthy, they'll keep you strong, and they'll keep your immune system boosted all the time.
Right.
Okay.
So I think I'm right in saying that the real secret, as it were, is to make sure that all of those supplements, yeah, they're good quality, but more importantly, as I understand it, they're bioavailable, right? Like
Yes.
you
Yes.
mentioned, a lot of vitamin C's are effectively fillers, as you said.
Some of
So,
them, a lot of vitamins are full of fillers. They're not good quality, so you have to really, really, really shop around. I'm not endorsing any line or anything like that. I'm just saying you have to shop around. um, just because you go to the CVS, do the research, or you go to go to your drugstore, do the research on the company and make sure that you know that they have some type of certification, from some type of certifying agency that does nutraceuticals.
right,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. So a little trick I learned is also some of the over the counters. If you build a relationship with your pharmacist, you can normally go to the pharmacist and say, hey, which, if I've got this or this, which is your more bioavailable, and they'll normally either look it up for you, which is really
Mhm.
nice of them, or they'll already know the answer to that question. And I've found, despite the marketing of certain brands, sometimes some lesser well-known brands are way better for you. So because of
This
that
is absolutely true.
bioavailability, right?
Yes, this is absolutely true. This is so true.
All right.
And the last thing is the most, if you can tolerate them, if they're any good, I don't even know about our food line or whatever. You know, egg whites are 98% bioavailability as far as
Ah,
protein goes. They're 98%
mhm.
bioavailability. That's the
Right,
most perfect protein you can possibly eat. Okay. If you eat eggs, and I'm
okay,
talking egg whites.
right. You can scramble. I don't like some of the eggs, but I like to scramble. You can scramble egg whites pretty good, right?
Yeah, you can. You can. You can do. I
Mhm.
love egg whites, and they're good for you. With spinach. Whatever you want to put in it.
Mhm.
Kind of like cut back if you can on dairy. Okay, dairy
Mhm.
dairy causes a lot of mucus, and we want to keep our bodies alkaline. Okay, what I mean by alkaline is not acidic. Okay, and a lot of the things that we eat make us acidic. Okay, so you want
Oh,
to look up the alkaline versus acidic diet. We don't have enough time for me to go into that right now, but we want to be alkaline, okay? Because if you're alkaline, first of all, cancer can't grow in an alkaline environment. Okay,
hmm,
sickness does not thrive in an alkaline body. Okay, so you want to keep your body alkaline.
right. So that's a great segue that if you're watching this either live today and you have detailed questions, are you okay with people direct messaging you, Doctor?
Sure, sure. I just got to listen. It may take me a few days to get to you, but I
Right.
will answer questions. I do answer everyone. Um,
Yes, you
but
do.
I
That's,
do. I answer every single person that DMs me. I answer everyone.
yeah.
Um, I
And then
just
is there a website or another resource that people could go to as well for additional
you can find me on Twitter. At what is my Twitter? Listen, my Twitter.
Well, you've got your hashtag up here for Dr.
Yes,
Deirdre Clark, so that's
yes,
one way.
yes, yes. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can inbox me, or you can email me. I'll post up my email address, and you can email me.
Oh, that,
I'm happy to do that, to answer questions or what have you.
all right. That would be awesome. So, final closing tip on health, wealth, and prevention. What would it be, Doctor? Well,
Your final tip would be, your wealth is mind, body, spirit, soul.
mhm.
Okay, all right. And right now, we are living in isolated times. Our minds run amok right now. Our minds run crazy. There are
Uh-huh.
so many people right now that are depressed, that are isolated from their families, that can't get home, that
Mhm.
can't get to where they need to go, that can't get to see their family. I can't even get home to Canada to see my family.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, if this has not been you, make it you, okay? Reach out to someone and say, hey, how are you doing? And be genuine about it. Check
Right.
in, check on people, see if they're okay. Okay. If it's just one person, reach out to one person to help one person get out of your selfish bubble, because this is a time that people need to like help one another. Because even though people might get on LinkedIn and they smile, believe me, inside they are very unhappy. People are very, very distraught right now.
Mm-hmm.
People are losing their jobs. People are hurting and they're alone. For the
Mm-hmm.
first time in their lives, they are alone. Okay.
Right.
And that is not a way for us to live right now. We are globally connected and we can do better.
Yep. That is wonderful advice. And actually, I know most of the people watching this show. Hi, Gillian. Oh, Gillian's on from Melbourne, Australia. So how about
Oh,
that?
oh well. I've been to Australia and I love it down there. I love
Yeah,
it.
she's Melbourne's pretty heavily restricted and locked down right now.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
so don't forget, just send the even if it's the occasional text, or pick up the phone and drop a voicemail, or email maybe is not so popular, but it works as well. Yeah, LinkedIn message. If you've not seen somebody that you're used to seeing in your feed, just
Hmm.
reach out to them and say, "Hey, are you doing okay? Are you all right?" And it's amazing how that just makes you feel a whole lot better. Just it's just incredible, and I am very lucky, probably like yourself, Doctor. I get people doing that to me, and it's like the best feeling in the world. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's very good. It's very good. You know, I don't know if you remember this song. Okay, I can't reach out and touch somebody's
ah,
hand. I remember Dinah. I love Dinah Ross. I always post. I always post her. Anyway, reach out and touch somebody's hand, but in a more literal sense. Okay, if you can't see someone face to face, if you can knock on their door and wave to them, if you can just give them something to just whatever, because this is unprecedented in our lifetimes. And I know a lot of people that are hurting. And
right,
let us all come together and care for one another. Not right. Not This is not the time to say, I'm gonna be mad at you, I'm gonna pick on you, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. Let's just
right.
let dignity in us.
I'm gonna give a plug actually under the hashtag Jill Sings. Gillian actually is a singer. And I am pretty certain from memory that she's done your favorite song, Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. So,
Ah, yes.
if I am wrong there, I know Gillian will put me straight, but if she hasn't done it, then Gillian actually will take requests sometimes. And she's also on a campaign to post on YouTube on every single day in October. So, that might be another thing that she might feel like doing, and I'll probably get myself into trouble for saying that without asking her first. But Gillian has also been a prior live guest, and so I'm pretty confident she'll take that in the true, meaningful spirit that it was meant. So we'll see. Yeah, thanks, Bruce. I'm not sure she's saying thanks for saying about Jill Sings or not, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll get a message or two after if it's not to her liking. So, all right. Well, thank you, Dr. Deirdre, for all the way from beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. For those of you that joined the feed live, thank you so much for giving up some of your precious time on Friday, Fabulous Friday. And if you're seeing this as a recording and you have a question or two for Dr. Deirdre, then just drop that in the comments and she will get back to you. Or just drop her a direct message, or whatever you feel like doing. That would be, she will get back to you. She's a busy lady, but she did promise to get back to you. So thank you, Dr. Deirdre. Such
Thank
a pleasure.
you. Thank you, Bruce. I
Such an
appreciate
honor.
you. Thank you
All right.
so much.
So good night, and if you could hang on, and I'll tell you how we'll get the hosting here to you. So thanks again, everyone. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Fabulous Friday. Bye-bye.